I'd originally planned to hard mount a propane tank underneath the van, a 5 to 10 pound propane tank. But the more that I investigated it, I realized that I was going to run into two major issues, and that was weight, how much the overall fabrication and install was going to weigh, add to the van, especially with it being my daily driver, that constant weight towards the back of the van, and then two, the complexity. So mounting it, connecting a remote fill kit, and then being able to operate it and use that remote fill kit, I just realized that it was more headache than how often I would need that much propane. There's only two things that I'm primarily fueling rather with propane, and that is the Camp Chef Mountaineer stove, and then potentially a backup mister heater that I could use in an emergency situation if the S-Bar diesel heater dies. And so I really don't need that much propane on hand. I'd for a while I'd contemplated mounting something like this to the back of the van. But again, I don't need this much propane on hand, even if we're doing a week's worth of camping. So when I realized that there were now refillable 1 pound canisters on the market, that seemed really attractive to me. I have an adapter kit for the Camp Chef Mountaineer where it'll run perfectly fine off of the green version of these, the non-refillable traditional versions. And so I just got these in. They have not yet been filled. And today I'm going to try using the refill kit in conjunction with the propane that I already have on hand to get these filled up. And then I'm making smash burgers on my made-in griddle on top of the Camp Chef Mountaineer, and let's see how it works. Refill adapter is attached. Turn it over so it's on its support feet. Cool. Connect the fuel keg tank to the 20-pound cylinder via the refill adapter. Be sure to line up the overfill pin, push the connector onto the tank valve, and tighten the nut onto the valve. Hand tighten, do not over tighten. Ah, okay, I see. All right, so I think that's the little valve that I'm looking for, and it connects to this pin that's inside of here. So I need to line the two up. Ah, yeah, that's seated now. And then I twist this guy on. And then tighten, hand tighten, but do not over tighten. Okay? Okay. Cool. I also bought these additional magnetic caps, which is nice because these things always float around everywhere. And so that's one tank filled. Filling the second tank. Then I've got my two fuel kegs with their magnetic caps. And then there's a couple options on the market for these. Let's see what the build quality is of this bag. Again, this is why I keep a box cutter and not a knife. Because if all I'm going to be doing is opening boxes and packages, I really don't want to have to be babying a high-end knife. Doesn't have quite as much padding as I'd like it to have. I was hoping for a bag with a bit more padding. but looks like it'll get the job done. But I might be on the lookout for a better fuel pack. So if you know of a good one, please let me know in the comments down below if you've had good success with one of the bags. But there we go. All right, I've got my fuel kegs ready, and now for the best part, I'm gonna go out front, set up the camp stove, and make some smash burgers. Make sure my valves are off. Turn this valve on. Set it down. I've got my made-in griddle. Really love this thing, my carbon steel griddle. Let's let that warm up for 2 minutes. Hey Siri, start a 90-second timer. So this meal is actually a continuation of my weight loss journey. When we came back from our summer trip, I'd put back on a couple pounds, which I'm fine with because now I know how to regulate my diet. And so I'm trimming back down to, I was at 190 pounds. I got up to 170 after the summer. And now I'm back down to 163. So I've got a few more pounds to go to get back to 160, which is where I really feel comfortable. And so this is a high protein meal for me. All right. And there it is. My burger in all its glory. 93% beef, 4 ounces. Nature's keto bun, slice of 2% cheese, a little bit of ketchup and mustard. This little fuel keg propane tank worked flawlessly, and I feel like every cook that I do with the Camp Chef is getting better and better. I love cooking on this made-in griddle. Highly recommended. Not a chef, just a dad who likes to cook. But really appreciate your time and attention. Thank you for joining me on this video. I do have a goal of reaching my first 1,000 subscribers. And so if you found value in this video, would really appreciate it if you were to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it, and hopefully see you in the next video.